So your healthy habits, they were ticking along okay until they weren't. Maybe you got ill, maybe a work trip or holiday got in the way and you couldn't get back into things, or maybe life was just coming at you from all angles. Firstly, hi, welcome to the gang. It's called Being Human. In this video, we'll work through 4 simple but powerful steps to get you back on track, to take you away from Stucksville and back to making progress. It's a framework I use with my health coaching clients when they feel they've just lost their footing a little bit. And if we've not met, hi, I'm Ruth. I make videos for over 50s women about healthy habits. And if you're returning, thank you. Here's the story. It was going okay, you were exercising regularly, getting enough sleep and eating better. Hey, perhaps you even discovered you like kale. But then something shifted and you found yourself slipping back into your old habits. And you might find yourself thinking, what did I do wrong? Well, the answer is nothing. Sometimes life just happens and things get disrupted. And secondly, when we start new habits, we expect that they're going to look like this, but often they look like this. The road to living and eating well is paved with good intentions, but it can be just as bumpy as your average potholed British road. And thirdly, forming new habits is hard. Your brain likes to take the path of least resistance, and old habits are easy because they're automatic. Forming new habits takes work. So when you find yourself stuck in one of those aforementioned potholes, this process will help to get you back on your health journey. So how do you know you need to start the process? Well, this is where you need awareness. So you notice that something's changed and you break the autopilot. So it's that little thought that creeps into your head and says, I haven't walked in a week. Now this is important. Don't label it as a failure or blame yourself. Just notice that something's different. This is the recognition stage and it triggers the process. I'm going to use the analogy of a garden. This is when you look out the window when you're opening the curtains in the morning and think, that's all looking a little bit messy. Some things are overgrown, there's some weeds and a few plants that look like they've seen better days. So step 2, what tends to happen next? Well, the critical self-talk starts. I've not got enough discipline. I have no willpower. I've blown it. Our inner critical voice can be really powerful. Or maybe you ate a slice of cake and then convinced yourself that you've failed yet again. You may as well eat the rest of the cake and start again on Monday. That classic yo-yo dieting. By the way, there's nothing wrong with eating cake. Cake is nice. Or you might feel that you immediately need to launch into action and plan your way out of that dip. Write that food plan immediately, set your alarm for an hour earlier. You need to resist doing this at this stage. Now, instead of reacting or spiraling, you need to do a little bit of a reframe. So this is important. There is no such thing as failure. It's just a lesson you've yet to learn. And I fully give credit to business coach James Wedmore for that one. I've unashamedly stolen it. Now that back to square one feeling, that's your brain's negativity bias talking. And we've all got one of those. It's what keeps us alert for danger, but it can be counterproductive and lead to negative self-talk. So just remember, you haven't unlearned everything you've learned or undone every good choice you've made. You're just in a pause. Now, if something's not worked out, well, there's going to be a reason why. So view this as an opportunity. That's an opportunity to investigate. So back to the garden. However you feel, burning it all to the ground is not the answer. The weeds, they don't mean you're a bad gardener. Perhaps it's just been rainy weather and you've been busy. You know, these things happen. And one of my lovely clients said to me recently, well, I'm really pleased that that habit didn't work out because it's meant that I've stress tested it. So that's a really powerful reframe. So she was doing some great work. And if you're finding this video useful, why not sign up to the Wise Women's Wellbeing newsletter? I'll put the link below and on the screen. In it, you'll get deeper reflections, insights, and the occasional recipe. So now that all that emotional dust has settled, what happens if you replace blame with curiosity? Well, then you get data. So now is the time to make like a scientist and get curious. So ask yourself, what got in the way? Why didn't your habit work out? Was it timing? Did you not have enough energy? Was the habit too big? Did you not have the emotional bandwidth? And sometimes it's just what worked last season doesn't necessarily work now. You know, perhaps the mornings are darker and you can't go out as much and it's raining all the time, so you don't feel like it. Or suddenly work is busier and your focus is shifted elsewhere. And turn your focus inwards and ask yourself how you're feeling. Has anything there got in the way? Does anything feel out of sync? Are you sleep deprived? Are you overscheduled? Or are you just running on caffeine and sugar and feeling depleted? Now, in gardening terms, this is where you stand at the back door and survey your kingdom, cuppa in hand, and see what needs doing. So what's really going on? What's grown like mad? What's struggling? What's a weed? Perhaps you need to get the garden books out, or in my case, you need to ring your mum for advice. So this is the reflect stage. You're using curiosity to gather data and insight instead of blame. And step 4, where do you go from here? So you're making progress without overwhelm or guilt. This final step is all about creating a little bit of momentum, and the most important word there is little. And this is the most important question. Ask yourself, what's one tiny thing you can start doing today that's just going to nudge you back into alignment with the healthy life you're working towards? We're not looking for a full overhaul, we're just looking for something small, meaningful and realistic. A 10-minute walk, a proper breakfast with some protein in it, water before coffee, it can be anything. And if you're not sure where to start, think about a habit that's going to support all the others. So for some it's sleep, for others it's movement. So something that gives you the energy to get yourself back on your journey. You don't need to landscape the entire garden, you just need to start on one flower bed. Because success doesn't come from perfection, it comes from planting small seeds and tending them so they grow over time, and I am done with the garden metaphor. So if your habits have slipped, don't view it as a failure. Instead, recognise what's changed, shift the story with a reframe, get curious and reflect on what happened, and take one small, meaningful step to reconnect with the life you're building. Healthy living is not about being perfect, it's about getting into a rhythm. And sometimes, that rhythm is going to get disrupted, but you can find it again. I'll leave a video here where I take a deeper dive into why healthy habits don't stick, and I'll see you there.